Hello again, and welcome back to the 406-411 with your hosts Bethany and Michael and producer extraordinaire Lynn. I'm Bethany.
Michael. And Lynn can't really talk right now because she doesn't feel well.
She's sick.
Sad panda.
Oh. Well, moving on to happier things, we have a special guest with us today.
We do.
The amazing Deb Meekum. Hello, Deb.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Fantastic.
So you have a show coming up that you are directing.
Super excited about it, called Desperate Farmwives. It is the 10th anniversary of this show. Was written by one of a past Pondera Players named Phyllis Phillips.
Oh, so it's a local original.
It is a local original. And I am learning all about this because I wasn't involved in it 10 years ago. And apparently, Phyllis came from New York. And so Montana life was strange to her. So many of the things in the play are based on her life and how she came to be here in our little town. So I think those who come to it can relate to what's in the show. It's very hometown.
Oh, that sounds awesome. So it really is like a show for the community.
Absolutely. Yeah. And in it, because it is a musical, she wrote 3 original songs, and then the rest of the songs are all from various artists, many that you'll pick up and know. But the 3 songs that she wrote originally, the first song that introduces the show, called Anita, is your basic children's telephone game. And then there is actually Desperate Farmwives, where they talk about what it's like being a farm wife. And then, of course, the best song of all, the Testy Festy.
Which is an actual thing in Montana.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I have such a good story about the Testy Festy. I have to tell you guys sometime.
Do tell.
Well, I don't know.
Might as well go right now.
Yeah.
Okay. When I first moved to Montana, it was about a year after I moved to Montana, I went to school in Missoula. And my boyfriend at the time, who is now my husband, we were setting up shop to go to school in Missoula. And my parents had been here for a while, but they hadn't really explored that part of Montana. And we heard about the Testicle Festival. So we're like, well, let's go check it out. So my mom, my dad, me, and my boyfriend, who turned into my husband, all decided to go to the Testicle Festival together. So we roll up, and let me tell you, that is not a comfortable place to be with your parents and your boyfriend at the same time. Well, I thought it would be more like, cowboys and westerny, but no. I was misinformed because...
Wait, what is it?
It's far more rednecky, and
there was a lot of old school bikers there. We want to stay PG, so I can't tell you some of the things we witnessed there.
That's for the paid subscriptions that we'll get started, right?
Yeah. So my dad ended up, like, as soon as we got there, he found some guy that he had something in common with, and he just sat there at the picnic table at the entrance the whole time. Well, me and my boyfriend and my mom decided we were just going to take a stroll around the festival and see what was going.
Oh dear.
He was so uncomfortable. Oh my gosh.
Get the hint where it's talking about testicles all the time, that it might be uncomfortable?
I mean, they told me it was like, well, it's a Rocky Mountain oyster sort of thing, right? And so I was like, well, it's just going to be fried food and, cowboys.
What's absolutely mind-blowing is, like, down in the Gallatin Valley, they think that's like a delicacy now.
Ugh.
It's just like, wow.
Well, I tried some. I was there. So I tried some.
Full send.
They were not horrible. They were okay if you put lots of barbecue sauce on them.
There it is.
Oh, see, now I have lived in Montana my entire life. I have been a rancher my entire life, and you will not catch me eating any of that.
Really?
Really.
Not even to just try it once?
No. I have no desire.
I pegged you as more adventurous than that, Deb.
No. Well, now, mind you, I have had cow heart.
See, I wouldn't do that. That's
Head
gross.
cheese. I've had tongue, but not by choice. I had to because we had to try it in home ec.
They made you try it in home ec?
Yes. We live in Montana. We had to try these different parts. Heart tastes like roast beef. Tongue is just gross. I'm sorry.
My grandma used to eat tongue.
I have friends who love tongue sandwiches, but I'm like, I don't care what you do to that. I know where that tongue has been.
I always think it would be like, it would feel like biting your tongue. Like, you know, when you're eating something and then you bite your tongue. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what I imagine it would be like.
It's rubbery.
Yeah.
It's not.
Except for it wouldn't hurt because it's off of a dead cow and it's not actually your tongue.
So in the play, are they actually going to be eating this stuff? Please tell me yes. Please, for the love of God, tell me yes. I want to see James eat this stuff.
No, unfortunately. Apparently they used donut holes last time. Although I am pretty sure if we mentioned this to our vet, Dick Kenyon, he could come up with some.
Oh,
and he would gladly. He was actually in the original play. He's quite the actor himself. He's someone you should have on your show. But he would probably provide and cook them and do that. But no, although that's an idea, we could throw one in there.
I'm all in favor of having. I'm all in favor of having James eat something like that.
Throw one in there.
Yeah.
This isn't a dinner theater, is it?
No, it is not. We chose not to do dinner theater this time, but
Well, hey, you can always serve hors d'oeuvres.
We are doing a cocktail hour before, so maybe we could throw some out there then.
Oh. That
might be appropriate. We'll have Ed's. They might, we could have them bring some with them. I don't know.
Sure. Ed's they're great.
They're adventurous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they are.
I love the peeps down at Ed's.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So is there anybody in the cast right now that was in the original 10 years ago?
Yes.
Who?
Wendy.
Oh, Wendy.
Wendy.
And she is reprising her role as Frida May. And also Jane Aarons is reprising her role as Claire.
Very nice.
One of the other Farmwives. Our musical director, David, he was in the original, and obviously he is not in it this time, but he is the musical director. So.
Oh yes, David.
Yes.
We love David.
Yes.
We were talking before all this about how he gets everybody to try to sing, and then he made the mistake of getting me to sing, and I think he's regretted that.
Well, that's something that I've been told about the original is that they struggled at that time Pondera Players wasn't thriving like it is now, and they struggled to get enough singers, especially male singers, and so David pretty well had to carry that part all by himself. Now, this time, we're very lucky. We have many talented singers, which has thrilled David. And so we have taken the songs and split them up. So there's multiple people singing verses. So one person isn't having to carry the whole thing.
Oh, that's nice.
It's very exciting. The other exciting part I will bring out, this is Pondera Players' first foray into live music.
Music?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
We will have a piano player, drums, fiddle, and I think he was hoping for a bass player, and I don't know if he has found that or not, but this is our first opportunity to do this, and I'm super excited. I'm not sure we'll do a musical in the future without live music. This is just super exciting for us, and
it just elevates the whole experience too, to have a live band or orchestra.
And I think it gives flexibility for the singers as
Absolutely.
well. And we have such talent, especially our piano player, who can speed up or slow down with whoever's singing. So, and obviously you can't do that with pre-recorded music. If the singers miss their entrance, It's not like you can say, whoa, stop, let's go back, and, you know.
So who do you have playing these instruments?
Carrie Combs is on the piano. John Ringdahl is on the drums. And I do not know the others. I have not been told who is going to play the fiddle and the bass, but they're all friends of David's who he has worked with in the past, and super excited to have that opportunity. Now we will still have sound effects. Our wonderful sound person, Janie Gallahan.
Shout out to Janie. We love Janie.
Janie's awesome. She's a legend.
You know, when you guys did assisted living, Janie made me cry with her sweet little song.
Oh, wasn't she hilarious?
Oh,
I was going to say, I thought you were saying that she purposefully made you cry. I was like, oh god dang.
No, she just had this sweet little song, and by the time she was done, I noticed
talking about dating and...
Yeah, I was tearing up, and she was just so sweet, and Janie, you moved me.
She is wonderful, and we are really forcing her to try new things. Because we have live music, there's less sound, but she is going to, for the first time for her, learn to run the head mics for everyone.
Oh boy.
And if you have never done that, it's an experience. So she gets to do that. We will have Tom Buffum again on lights. He did our production of MASH.
So where is this going to be held at?
This will be held at this is the other part of it. So it's going to be held at Norley Hall, which I have learned more about that as well. Norley Hall is the home of Pondera Players. Although in recent years we have done things at the high school and at the Orpheum. For those who don't know what Norley Hall was, it was built when the Air Force came in the 90s. This was their second foray into Conrad. And this was built as their commissary. So where the stages and that was where the freezers were. And then when the Air Force pulled out and Blue Sky Villa became a retirement area and Norley Hall became the kind of Blue Sky Villa's community center, Pondera Players went in, built the stage. They built the wall in between the two rooms to separate the rooms. They put all the lighting in for the stage. There is fluorescent lighting overhead, but Pondera Players put in dimmers on that. So part of our 10-year anniversary of this play is to put up our memorial plaque. Something that we felt very strongly about putting up was remembering those who have gone before and were had major roles in Pondera Players. So we had Susan Gustafson, who has done Pondera Players for years. She is going to present this plaque. It will be hanging on the wall at Norley Hall. We are going to have, like I said, cocktail hour, but out in the front room where you come in when you buy your tickets and everything, we will have set up kind of a red carpet area. So past Pondera Players, people have made posters of their performances. So we're going to have those put up on easels around the room so people can, reminisce about past performances. But we're also going to have a little walk down memory lane. We'll maybe have a costume that went with a performance. So from Clue, we'll have Miss Scarlet's red dress, and they did Willy Wonka, so we'll have an Oompa Loompa outfit. And so we're trying to make this kind of along with it being the 10th anniversary, we'll also have a tribute to Pondera Players and a remembrance of those who have...
Yeah, like a celebration of the players.
Yes,
very
absolutely.
Nice.
That's so fun.
Yes, we are super excited about that.
Sounds great.
So for those players who are out there listening right now, please plan to come to the show because we'd love to have you come, reminisce, tell us about your experiences.
Are we going to go, Beth?
Yes.
Outstanding. You still owe me curling, too. Don't forget that.
What?
You still owe me curling, too. Don't forget that.
I don't remember that.
Oh, we have it on air.
No,
Oh, yeah, Bade.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Gonna challenge the historian on history. Okay, that's cool.
Well, maybe my memory will be jogged when I see my jacket.
You'll get what you get.
Hey.
But no, that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yes, super excited for it.
So when is the performance or performances?
The performances are April 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. The 6th is a Sunday matinee. The rest will all be evening shows starting at 7 o'clock.
Very fun.
We will have a bar. Ed's Tavern will be there with a bar, and then we will also have desserts available for purchase.
Very fun.
Nice.
So outside of it being the 10th anniversary of the show and whatnot, why this show? Because I know Phyllis had written a couple of different shows. So why this one?
I think it's because it's relatable, it's comfortable, it's fun. It's just one of those where you can just come and sit and enjoy, have a good laugh. Her other show that she wrote was called Hot Flash. Really more focused towards women. It's about women, menopause. Phyllis battled breast cancer for 10 years before she lost her battle just after COVID. So that show was also very near to her. But that one maybe doesn't quite hit the audience that we wanted to hit with this. So that's why we chose Desperate Farmwives to do. And she was a firecracker of a lady.
Yeah, I know. I only met her a handful of times right before COVID hit. And she was always a lot of fun to talk to.
A lot of fun. And I only worked with her just on a few short shows. It was during COVID that we were going to do assisted living. And because that was her idea, that was something she had brought up. And then COVID hit, and then we ended up not being able to do it. And then she passed away before we were able to do that. But man, she was just a pistol and exciting and fun and loved to sing, dancing, being a part of it. So, but like I said, even my interaction with her was pretty limited, considering.
Unfortunately, she passed before I came here, but I have heard so many wonderful stories about her. And I was told by Wendy, actually, that it was really unfortunate because she thinks her and I would have gotten along very well.
Oh, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
So I feel a kinship with her, even though I never met her. So
definitely. Oh yes, you would have definitely gotten along with her.
Oh Jesus, yes. That's terrifying.
And her family has very generously allowed us to do this. Without cost. So
even better.
That's fantastic. Shout out to the Phillips family. They're wonderful. They were very excited that we chose to do this, and definitely gave their thumbs up to allow us to reprise the show. So
good. Any other plans coming up with the Pondera Players?
Oddly enough, normally we have thoughts of shows that we're going to do. I will throw this out there. Wendy and I are planning a Hoop Up extravaganza that will happen the weekend of Hoop Up. We will have it Thursday night and Saturday night. For those who were around for when we did the Orpheum's birthday, and we did a Orpheum extravaganza, it will have many different, we plan on having like a cowboy poet, fiddlers. It's just all different things. The players will do a sketch to end the evening.
So like a talent show kind of a gig?
Yeah, but not really a talent show.
Or like a vaudeville style?
Yeah, we will be asking, it'll be by request. If you want to be involved, you can come and ask myself or Wendy, and we'll talk about it. But we have some different folks already in line to do some different things. When we did the theater's birthday, we did a silent movie, a quick clip of a silent movie, and then just different things that had to do with the theater and things like that. So Hoop Up will be obviously cowboy focused, Western, that kind of thing. We will reprise the Dainty Dancers. And I don't know if any of you have
haven't
seen
the foggiest.
I have no idea what that is.
The Dainty Dancers are, there is a person in front who runs the feet, and then there's a person behind you who is the arms.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So,
I've seen that. Those are
Okay.
those are
I
cute.
just had a recollection of Charlie Chaplin in, what was that, the Gold Rush that we went and saw? Lynn says yes. Where he has the sticks in the bread that he's making dance around. That's just kind of what I had envisioned right there.
Nope. We typically have a little theater setup booth that we use, and there's three of us that you see our faces, and then there's three people behind us. So when I did it, it was my husband who was the arms, and then I was the feet, and then we had music and we danced to them. So for Hoop Up, we would be doing Showgirls.
Oh, Jesus.
That's cute. Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yes. So that'll be something. I'm very excited for the Pondera Players sketch. It will be similar to a Carol Burnett type sketch, saloon.
Oh,
Very
nice.
fun.
Yes.
Nice.
So just something, Hoop Up is wonderful. They have the rodeo and all of that, but it's kind of nice. We wanted to throw something else in there. Wendy went to a place in North Dakota, and I don't know what it is.
Medora?
Could be. They do a summer.
Mm-hmm.
Medora.
There you go.
Yeah, that's Medora.
And when she was there, she was texting me, "Oh my gosh, we've got to do something like this." And so I was like, "Great, let's do it. Let's do it at Hoop Up. Let's bring something that people can go to and celebrate Hoop Up." But we're also then not going to interfere with the rodeo. So rodeo Friday night, we won't have our show. We'll do it Thursday, Saturday. And just give people something else to do over that weekend. So,
How many shows have you directed with the Pondera Players?
this is my third.
Third.
Yes.
You did Clue.
Clue was my first, and dare I say, the best.
We had a great time.
That's because you
Oh
had
my
such an
gosh.
awesome cast.
I did. Not like you guys are in it, huh?
Yeah.
It was though. It was wonderful. That was so much fun.
Well, having Matt there as Colonel Mustard,
my gosh.
him and I, we coach against each other for speech and drama, and it's always just a ball to sit there and talk to that guy. He is so quiet, but just hysterical to talk to. And I learned so much, and Beth, I think you've said the same thing, learned so much from him just in that one show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was amazing to be on stage with someone with that much talent.
And his moving cravat.
Yeah, right?
That scarf had a life of its own, and by the end of the show, you never knew where it was going to end up. And it was wonderful because each character and each person who was that character were so unique to it just was perfectly cast.
Wait, you're saying I'm lewd and lascivious like Colonel Plum? Or not Colonel Plum, Professor Plum?
And I'm morbid and shady like Mrs. White?
Yes.
Well,
What?
I mean, you were both in other shows and kind of fell into those spots again.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I've been in a few shows, and every time I play that same style character, I'm feeling a little typecast.
Well, my husband would say he's typecast into the geeky nerd. So,
Like I told Lynn, it's like, let me play the villain. I'll play the villain.
yeah. This one has been fun, but because they've been singing so much, my part of directing, I haven't done anything. So I go to practice and I'm just the cheerleader. Wow, that sounds great. You guys are awesome. I mean, and I guess I don't mind that, but it's
Then-
not really the meat of directing. I have enjoyed. I had no idea that and Clue spoiled me because we had such great, talented people doing their parts that it just made it fun.
Yeah, and then we rolled into MASH the next fall.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I can honestly say that I've read the book, I've seen the movie, I'm a huge fan of the show, and I can say I've been in the play.
I loved the movie. I loved the show, hated the movie.
Really?
I hated the movie.
Oh, Donald Sutherland is amazing. Elliot Gould?
I haven't sat and watched a movie. It was my husband and my son and I. We had our popcorn bowls. And I just remember all of us, we all looked at each other and our chins were just like, what is this? It was the most...
Oh, it's so different from the show. From the TV show. So different.
And I guess I just felt horribly written and just awful. Although it definitely followed the play. It was far more like the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And that than the show. And I grew up loving the show. My kids grew up. I mean, we had all the DVDs. We watched it. You know, that's probably one of my family's favorite quoting. We quote MASH continually to each other. So.
Oh, yeah.
That's us. So I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed that. I did enjoy doing drinking habits with you.
Yeah.
And I had not been on stage for a long time.
You were amazing.
That
You
was
you
so
were pretty
funny.
fantastic.
that was fun.
Yeah, you were very funny.
I was terrified to memorize lines again because I had not done that especially a full play. I had done Carol Burnett sketches, which, as you know, is very different
Oh, yeah.
than a whole play. I was terrified I wasn't going to be able to do that.
Well, you
But
did it
Man,
beautifully.
that was fun.
That
Thank
was
you.
fun.
I really enjoyed that.
So what other shows have you done with the players? Not necessarily directing, but just been in or helped backstage or...
Just I did Carol Burnett twice. We did that twice. Uncle Phil's Diner. If you guys, and that was different as well. That's a different type show. That was interesting. We did that. What else have I done? Well, and then I did, unfortunately, Pondera Players. We've had some sad moments here in the recent years. So I also costume for the players, and I stepped into that because our costumer, Mary Jane Kenyon, passed away from cancer, sadly, as well. And I stepped into her role. And so when we did Mamma Mia, my part in that was costuming. And I did, so behind the scenes, I costumed and I helped dress people during the play and that. Same with Once Upon a Mattress and Pajama Game. Pajama Game was a nightmare to costume.
Yeah, you have way too much fun putting costumes on me, I want to add. Way too much.
Well, that's because you're a small guy, and that's where we have the wacky clothing, and so...
Well, like those pants you had for me for
Yes.
pajama... Oh my god, those things should be burned.
Those were awesome.
Those were terrible.
Those blue striped pants were awesome. They were awesome. Hey, I made my husband wear those plaid shorts. So.
That's fair. That's
You
fair.
know.
But at least plaid shorts in some circles is still in. Read Mr. Carroll at the high school.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
whereas I'm pretty sure the only place I see striped pants like that is like, I don't even know. Maybe an Indiana Hoosiers basketball game.
I have a beautiful plaid suit.
I do not need that, Lynn. No, I do
Oh
not.
yeah, it's got your
Oh.
name written all over it. It does.
I could totally
It
see you in a
really-
plaid suit.
And it came from the Kenyons. It was Dick Kenyon's dad's stuff. I mean, some of those things
Oh, I'm sure.
are from his. Yeah. So
That reminds me, I have a couple of very loud men's sport coats from like maybe the 60s.
Oh, we would love it.
Would you?
Yes.
All right, I'll
Yeah,
bring
I know
those
I'll
to
be
you.
calling you up for costumes and props here pretty quick.
That's another area super excited about. We have the costume garage, which have you been in the costume
I
garage?
have only been a little bit in on one side, but not the costume side.
It's packed full, is it not?
It's pretty full.
So the decision was made that what we call the costume garage, or that is a 3-stall garage
Pole
shed. And on one side we keep the flats and the wood stuff and that kind of thing. And then in the middle is all the costumes, which is packed to the gills. And on the other side, at one point in time, the Pondera Players bought risers. So they could use that at Norley Hall. So it was more of a theater kind of a situation. But they're big, cumbersome, a pain in the butt to put together, and they haven't been used for years. But they take up that whole side of the costume garage. Well, just this last fall, Pondera Players purchased a shipping container, which is now proudly has its place on the Meekum farm. And it will now play host to the risers and then any furniture and things like that we have, so that at the costume garage, all the props, various other things in the costumes are doors, stairs, that once out of there, then we'll be able to coordinate. Mary Jane had, it's amazingly coordinated for what it is in that costume garage. I mean, you can hardly fit clothing on the hang. I mean, it is that tight in there. So the hope is once we get the props and everything out of there, we will have more room, more hanging space. Because as you know, with every show that we do, we gain costumes. Mm-hmm. And the costumes from Mamma Mia on are all in totes and boxes because I haven't had room.
So can I ask you, what is on the Pondera Players wish list as far as if equipment or props or anything that you need, what's on your wish list?
Our wish list right now is a new sound system at Norley Hall, and we're hoping that this musical will fill us up every single night, and we will take some of the proceeds from that and purchase a new sound system out at Norley Hall.
So that means all y'all need to get out and watch the show.
Absolutely. Come watch, have fun with us. We'll have some good laughs. You asked me what was in the future. For those of you that took part a year ago, 2 years ago? Has it been 2 years? When we did Love Connection?
Oh, that was me, yeah.
Was that last year?
That was
No.
2 years
That was 2 years ago.
That was, I think that was after we did Clue,
it was
if
the
I
year
remember.
we did. It was 2023. Yes.
Yeah, because it went,
yes.
for me, it went Clue, Love Connection, and into Pajama Game.
So, we have a lovely person here in the community, Casey Brown, who wrote Love Connection with the help of Susan Gustafson. And she has another play that she would like to do. So Love Connection was a short play, but they also did local commercials in with it. So it was like the game show Love Connection. So we, would show a piece, do commercials in that. Anyway, she has another piece, another bit based on Judge Judy. Oh. So we like to throw in these little short, easy plays that are fun to go to. There's not a lot of practice. When we did Love Connection, we didn't practice that much.
Yeah, like 3, 4, 5 times was all.
It was fairly simple. People like to come see that and like to participate in that. And so I know we'd like to do another one with Casey. When we did Drinking Habits, we had some friends from the north come down from just across the border in Milk River. They want to come back and do some more. I believe Rob Burzay wants to direct this fall. We aren't sure what we're going to do. So there's just different things like that. So we may end up doing some other small projects. So that's exciting. We like being able to do things like that. Like Drinking Habits was a summer show that didn't involve, it was a small cast, so we didn't have a huge amount of the players in that. We like to keep our fall and spring shows for the bigger casts and then throw in some extra stuff. So
for a year from spring, I suggest something like South Pacific, because who doesn't want to enjoy tropical weather when it's this outside of below zero?
Yes,
So.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I think it was Lynn last year mentioned how it's not fair that we have 30 below weather in the winter and then like 110 weather in the summer. It's just not fair that we have to deal with both. It should be one or the other.
Eh.
Or a nice temperate climate. See, I really don't like the snow I can deal with, being from Minnesota. It would not be winter without snow.
Sure.
The cold, and it got pretty cold in Minnesota, but I never remember having like stretches of like week long, like 30 below, 2 weeks of 20, 30 below. And I just get so much anxiety because it seems like something always breaks. Things always break when it's that cold, and I don't like it.
Like the 50 below they're predicting for tomorrow night.
Are you serious? Is it
Oh,
that
yeah.
cold?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the wind chill.
With the wind chill, yeah.
So I have anxiety about that because I have cows who are calving, and so my anxiety is...
How is calving going?
Quite hellish, really, because our cows... we are normally March, April calvers, but last year our bull decided that he wanted to change that schedule and put us back as January, February calvers, because we were January, February calvers. And then my husband and I went, why? Why are we doing this? This is stupid. It's cold. It's miserable. And so we moved it till later in the spring, and it was wonderful and nice. And then our bull decided that no.
Otherwise.
Yes, so we have had calves. We had 8 calves last week in the cold.
Woofda.
And yeah. And so tomorrow I have great anxiety, and I don't like it. Yeah, because we'll have a whole nother week of cold.
Well, somebody should do something about it.
I agree. I nominate you.
Agreed. Seconded.
We're not holding a vote.
We
If I could.
All in favor?
No. All opposed? What do
The
you
ayes
say if
have
you're
it.
opposed?
Nay.
Big old nay. And I can be louder than both of you. So, nay.
Really? I think I could be louder than you.
My money's on that.
I'm a Meekum. Meekums are not known for their quiet voices.
You're timid people, aren't you?
Oh, very, yes. Our family has never been told, you really need to talk louder. Ever. My daughter got that in high school. Why are you shouting at me? I'm not shouting at you. I'm talking to you. No, you're shouting at me. Yeah, honey, we talk loud. We're loud.
Yeah, I've been told by my husband on several occasions, can you not use your stage voice when you talk to me?
What? And when you get on stage, don't you, when we have new people on stage that haven't done that before and they don't know how to project, and I stand there going, really? Why don't you, I mean, doesn't this just come naturally? Can't we all just talk loud? And there are some very soft talkers.
Oh, yes. I've got a couple in the production we're doing up at the high school that they got to fill that auditorium, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
You can't be a soft talker.
No. We'll have the choir mics hanging down, but still, got to yell practically for a couple of them.
Yeah. Sometimes what I do when I'm directing and I have a quiet talker is if they have a scene with someone else, I'll put them in opposite ends. I'll make one go all the way to the back of the theater and the other one all the way on stage, and they have to do the entire scene back and forth.
Clever.
God dang, that would be a heck of a distance in the high school
Yeah.
auditorium.
It would.
Woofda.
Yeah.
Because those top rows are
They're
up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you learn to, because if you don't talk up, your partner can't hear you.
Hear what you're saying. Oh, that's clever. I like that.
So,
quite clever.
and it's super fun to sit there and yell, louder, louder.
I did that a lot during speech and drama season. So
it's kind of cathartic. I think everybody should do that at some point. Just go outside somewhere and just yell. Don't scream because you'll hurt your voice, but just...
I do that. It's called being around cows.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Well, is there anything else you want to add about this show or the players in general, Deb?
No, I am just super thankful that I get to be a part of the Pondera Players. There are so many wonderful people in our town and the surrounding towns who have all at one point in time been a part of this wonderful organization. And I am thankful that I get to be a part of it, that we get together and have fun. That's its whole purpose. We all get together, we get to be on stage, and we get to have fun.
And something I have to say is I've lived in a number of small Montana towns, and everybody, when I moved in, was telling me that, this town is very, known to be kind of cliquish, known to be kind of closed off. But I have to tell you, the Pondera Players have been the most welcoming and open people that I have ever met. It's just, if you feel like you're a bit of an outsider in this town for whatever reason, come to the Pondera Players and we will welcome you with open arms, more or less.
Absolutely. And give you any kind of job. You don't have to be on stage.
Yeah.
You can be behind the stage. We always need help there. You can come and learn lights or sound or whatever. I mean, we have lots of places for people to be in.
And it's just I don't know what I would have done, honestly, if I hadn't found the Players right away when I moved here. It was a lifesaver, and it's really made living here such a joy. Mm-hmm. It's really made me be like, yep, this is home. This is home now.
Nice.
So
I agree.
So we appreciate
you guys.
Yes.
Excellent. I am glad to hear that. And I'll be honest, like I said, I only started in 2018, but they sucked me in. So we did Carol Burnett, and then we went to a meeting. So we usually have a show and then have kind of a post-production meeting. So I had done the show, came to the meeting. They're like, "Oh, hey, do you want to be on the board?" Sure. and there you go.
It's kind of how Lynn ended up on the Pondera Art Council board. We just went to a meeting. It's like, hey, you're on the board now.
You get sucked in fast. And I mean, it's great and it's wonderful, but you're right. There are wonderful people who are involved.
No, that's what I tell all my high school students. Join the performing arts. We take everybody.
Yep.
And you know what? The thing about live theater, with all the AI taking over, like painting and animation and movies, live theater is an art form that AI cannot replicate.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Woo humanity.
Woo human. Okay, give me a minute so I can edit this part out. Whoa, humanity.
Nice musical direction.
I don't know if I got it.
Well, the last part of it I'll say is live theater. You also can prank on your castmates when they're least expecting. And I understand in the past there have been some great pranksters who have done some great things in Pondera Players.
Yeah, like last year during Once Upon a Mattress, somebody and a couple of my students putting googly eyes on the cauldron.
Was that you guys?
I love it. Mary Jane Kenyon, our past customer, used to put pictures from questionable magazines in books and things.
Oh.
Okay, that would be hilarious.
Or over pepper food or over... So, yes, we have a lot to live up to, people.
Yeah.
There are some great past. So, you're right. AI cannot
Nope.
Cannot copy that.
Cannot replicate it. So, well, if y'all are listening on YouTube, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that we can show up in your feed every time we release a new episode.
Make sure to follow us on Spotify. If you have any suggestions for shows for the Pondera Players, go ahead and hit us up at 406-411-podcast@gmail.com. Did we hit them all? Oh, Facebook too.
Yeah, we're on Facebook.
Yeah.
So check us out on Facebook. Also, if you're interested in being a part of the Pondera Players and you don't know who to reach out to, you can reach out to Deb or Wendy, or you can email us at 406-411-podcast@gmail. We'll get you in touch with the right people.
Absolutely. It's a great time. You won't regret it.
All right. Well, thank you, Deb.
Thank you for having me.
And
all right. Good night and good luck.
That's not...
Yeah, I did it. There.
If we get slapped with some sort of copyright, that is coming out of your share of the profits.
So 0 from 0. All right. Yeah. Okay.